What is up, gamers of the internet? It is I, ZackShack, and welcome back to another episode of the Nintendorks Podcast. Today, I'm joined by my name twin, kind of, ZackShack. How are you?
Hello, ZackShack. I am genuinely fantastic. It's absolutely an honor to be doing this with you, especially after watching you for years on end, so... Well, it's good.
It's good to have you on as a fellow Mario Party enthusiast. I figured that this topic that we're going to be talking about today would be a really fun one to do, especially because, I mean, I don't know all of you. Like, I know what, like, your favorite game is, what your least favorite game is, but I don't know, like, all the in-between stuff, so it'll be really interesting to see where your preferences seem to be and where mine seem to be and how we can make them all work.
Yeah.
So, today...
It'll be fun for sure.
For sure, 100%. So, I for my little, in my little intro announcement thing, I probably already said it, but to give more information, today, ZackShack and I are basically going to be crafting a Mario Party Superstars 2, what we would like to see if Nintendo were to do another Mario Party Superstars. And we're doing 4 specific categories. We're going to be doing boards, minigames, characters, and features, and I'll go into specific notes about each category because, like, obviously we're not choosing 100 minigames each, but we're going to be pitting our responses against each other, and then we're going to be narrowing down to kind of make an ultimate list that uses both of our suggestions, if that makes sense.
Perfect.
Is there anything else you want to add before we just jump right on into it? Because I can tell this is going to be a long one.
I do want to preface, regarding the boards at least, I did do like a difficulty rating, like 1-star, 2-star, just to like add a little more to that at least.
Yeah, I kind of did the same thing. I mean, like, I sorted them by difficulty, or it's like I have them, like, I have an easy board, I have a difficult board, but like I didn't, so I mean, if you wanted to add the difficulty rating to mine, because like I think I have a general idea of what each one would be, but
yeah.
So, alright, so we're going to start off with the boards. Now, both of us have selected 5 boards each. So, Zack selected 5 and I selected, well, ZackShack selected 5 and I selected 5. And the only rules were they could be from across the whole series, Mario Parties 1 through Jamboree even technically, and just no repeats from Superstars or Jamboree, or like for the retro boards I should say. So like no Western Land and no Mario's Rainbow Castle from Jamboree. The other ones are valid. So I'm trying to think of if I should share my whole list and then you share your whole list, or if we go one by one. What do you think would work better?
I think it would be more fun to go one by one, and then if we do end up, like, if you say one and I immediately am like, oh, I have that, I can, actually, yeah, if you or I say one, I think we should be like, oh, I did have that one written down. So let's go one by one, and do you want me to start, or would you want to start?
You can start this one off if you'd like.
Okay. I will say the boards list I did not change that much. I had like 4 in mind I was absolutely confident on, and then there was 1, maybe 2 that I was like interchanging. But I did land on, for the 1-star difficulty, the first beginning board, I had Wiggler's Garden from Mario Party DS.
Ooh, okay, that's a good one.
Yeah. It's small, you know, it is a beginning board. There isn't too much like DS like integrated stuff other than the shaking thing, or with the flowers. I feel like you could just like mash A for that. But I feel like it would be the perfect, it's a small board and it's a beginner board, and I feel like that would be perfect to kick off a second Superstars.
That's a really good choice. I actually didn't choose anything from the handheld entry, so I'd add some diversity to the list.
Okay. I was hoping you wouldn't, because I didn't think you would, but I still wanted to try and broaden it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, all of mine, with the exception of I think 2, are just obviously me choices. And I'll go with my first pick being obviously Towering Treetop from Mario Party 6, because like I said,
I knew it.
Yeah, because that is the basic board that I wanted to choose. That's the simple, very easy, just very standard board. I mean, that is my favorite board of all time, but it's just such a good introduction board. I think it's the perfect one, and so that's gonna be the first one from my list.
Okay. So the second one I had as the second, or a 2-star difficulty one, was coincidentally enough, I did Egad's Garage from 6.
Okay, I didn't have that one, so wow.
Yeah, it is definitely a little more complicated than Towering Treetop, just because the middle spins. I am a little scared. That one I'm already willing to debate on not having, just because you had Towering Treetop as the first one, and then it's like it would be weird if there was 2 from 6. And also it is kind of similar to the Wiggler mechanic in Jamboree, so it would be a little too similar, I fear.
That's wow, because I actually was gonna put that one on my list, but I didn't want my list to be dominated too much by 6 boards, because I do have one other 6 board in here, which I'll get to that in a little bit, because I'm actually gonna shuffle my list around to go with the difficulty thing that you're setting.
Okay.
Now this one I'm going based off of now opinion, because I didn't rank these by difficulty, so I think I'm going to do my second board, which would be the level 2 difficulty, at least of the boards I've chosen here, would be from Mario Party 3, being Chilly Waters.
That's good.
It is another admittingly basic board, but not as simple as something like Towering Treetop or Wiggler Garden. It's got the ice mechanic in the middle to where if too many people are on it, it breaks and sends you off. It's got the snowball mechanic. It's got more board mechanics. I mean, not that the other boards don't, but I feel like it's a little more intricate. Obviously, it's still an easy standard board, but I think it's a really good one.
Yeah.
Plus, winter-themed boards aren't super duper common. There are some, but not a lot. So I feel like, especially because I don't think any of the Switch Mario Party's got a winter-themed board. So this would be a good one to introduce to the next game.
The Wii ones didn't either. I think Snowflake Lake, it was the last snow-themed board, I believe.
It was. I'm trying to think because I don't think any of the handheld ones had any either. So
no. Not to my knowledge, at least. But that is definitely a good choice. I did not actually have any Mario Party 3 boards on mine, so I'm glad that one's definitely a unique one. So I have, for the 3-star one, I put Goomba's Greedy Gala from Mario Party 4. I think that one would be, I think it would need a little bit of work with all the areas you can just get stuck in loops in, like the top or the bottom left one you can get stuck on pretty much indefinitely, because I don't believe there's only one way to get from the bottom left to the top left, and that's with if you have a mini mushroom.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like that's so hard to like coincidentally have and then be able to roll the perfect number to get up there. But I think the overall, like the gambling hand gimmick is like definitely a unique thing, and I don't there aren't many boards that have like a big like 4 islands with a centerpiece to go to them gimmick.
Yeah.
So I think this one would be unique in comparison.
Yeah, the only other one is actually Mystery Land from 2, but like we don't need that board back.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you said that for context for people watching and listening, Zack said that you're gonna try and choose boards that you don't think I would have chose. I did not choose anything from 4, so you're nailing everything that I don't have.
Good. Okay. Good.
So my level 3 is actually going to be one from Mario Party 7. It is going to be Neon Heights. That one I love. It's a little similar to one of my other board picks, so this one can also be up for debate pretty much, but I just love the mechanic of having 3 different chests, each one having a different reward or punishment, especially with like, the Bowser time. I know everyone hates Bowser time, but just the fact that Bowser could steal a star from someone and put it into one of the chests, it's just such a fun board, and it like represents like, it's like, you got like, it's like a very, I think it's not even just a New York board. It's just like a very America board with like the Wild West and like the baseball and all that. So
the Statue of Liberty is literally on it.
True, there's the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah,
the statue. Yeah, I think isn't it like the statue of Mario or something like that? Kind of like
it is Mario.
Yeah. But... So that's my 3rd board.
That is a really good pick, actually. I didn't think you were gonna pick anything from 7, to be honest. So that one actually just surprised me. I didn't even account for the different. I'm just now realizing every board that I chose, other than 1, is all like the star spawns, get like a star hunting board. So that one being like a gimmick one with the chests is definitely, I think, puts it above a couple of my choices now that I'm looking at it.
I will say, though, my other 2 boards are also gimmicky boards.
Okay, that's good. the next one that I have is a gimmick one, and with you saying that, there's a chance we did both do this one. But for my 4-star board, I chose Koopa's Tycoon Town from 8.
I did not choose that one.
No, okay. I do think that one is... I originally had that as my 5-star one, but that being like the big complex board as the final one as a Koopa Town didn't like feel right. So I put that as a 4-star, and also because it is like by far the best board from 8. And definitely like one of the boards that like when people think of Mario Party, or at least, okay, when Gen Z people think of Mario Party, that's the board that comes to their mind, because that's the one that more often than not that they grew up with. And it's definitely the one that people praise, especially since Windmillville started the idea, but you know how Windmillville is.
Yeah,
so
horrible board.
Tycoon Town made it just a lot, significantly better. So that's why that one's definitely loved so much, and probably would be great for Superstars 2.
That is a good pick. That is a really good pick. My 4-star one. These both are kind of similar in difficulty, but I think I'm gonna say that my 4th difficulty pick is going to be Clockwork Castle from Mario Party 6. Because it would have that board, like unlike something like Towering Treetop or Egad's Garage, where you can work around the day and night mechanic. That board requires it. Like you would need to, like, kind of like with Horrorland and Superstars, you would have to integrate the day and night mechanic. But I mean, God, just the thought of having to chase down. Well, it probably wouldn't be DK if it was Superstars 2, but having to chase down the star and get it, running the hell away from Bowser. Like, there's just like so much fun, so much chaos on that board, and I think that's just a fun one. That's like, oh, that's up there for me. Like, that's like, ooh, that one is just peak.
I was gonna ask, because you did just mention it, but like, if it were to be implemented, what is there a character you would have replace DK?
Probably Funky Kong.
Oh, you really? Okay.
I'd want it to be a Kong still. So Funky Kong is like the one that makes sense to me. Like a Diddy Kong doesn't really make sense, or Cranky Kong. So I think Funky Kong, like being like the chill vibe surfer bro, like on space, like come on.
Yeah, that one makes sense. I do think that would work. What is it? Oh, that was the 4th one. Okay, so for my 5th one and the 5-star one, I chose Bowser's Enchanted Inferno from 7.
Ooh.
To wrap it up as a with a Bowser board. I feel like it's appropriate, and I do have a light theme with the boards that I chose, because all of them, except for kind of with Egad's Garage, I have a stretch for that, but all of the ones I chose do have like a Bowser Minion-esque theme with Bowser's Enchanted Inferno, Koopa's Tycoon Town, Goomba's Greedy Gala, Wiggler's Garden, and then Egad, just because in Sunshine, Bowser Jr.'s brush has the Egad, so it's like, that's like just kind of a neat little wink-wink, more than it is on theme. But I do think Bowser's Enchanted Inferno would be great, and then it has the, the Bowser time, obviously, where every 5 turns an island sinks, which I think would definitely differentiate, honestly, from all of our, okay, since you have Neon Heights, that obviously also has the 5, or the Bowser time event too, but with Bowser's Enchanted Inferno, that one is always like, it always sinks the island. It's not one of like 4 random events that can happen, so it's like predictable.
Yeah, and like with something like Neon Heights, like the Bowser time doesn't make or break the board. Like I feel like with Enchanted Inferno, like it's part of the mechanic of the board is the island sinking. With Neon Heights, it's not really like needed, like the Bowser time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then my last board and my, I guess, 5-star board is another one from Mario Party 3, and Clark is gonna love me for this one. Spiny Desert.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Because, I mean, it's another kind of, gimmick slash, like, not standard board. It's a really, really fun one. The board design's really good. The Mirage Star, it's similar to Neon Heights, kind of in a way, but not really. Like, it's like, you see 2 stars, one of them's real, one's not. So it's kind of got a similar theme, which is why I said earlier, like, Neon Heights or Spiny Desert, like, we'd have to kind of, I think we should choose one or cut the other.
Yeah.
But it's such a great board. I couldn't, like, not include it, and I'm genuinely shocked that there's no, like, both of our sets of lists are different. Like, there's no similar board.
Yeah, Yeah, no, that actually, I'm glad that the only one I was going to put was going to be Towering Treetop, but I figured you would. So that was the one I strayed away from. But Spiny Desert does, I didn't think you were going to choose, honestly, any board from 3. And if any, I thought you were going to choose, oh my gosh, what's it called? Waluigi's Island. Just because of, I didn't know how gimmick heavy you were going to go.
Nah, I mean, that board's okay. To me, it's overrated. I don't love that board. I don't hate it, but I don't love it really either.
Yeah, I actually do definitely agree. But Spiny Desert that one is definitely good, and I honestly do prefer... Actually, I don't know if I prefer that to Neon Heights, but that one will definitely be like... Yeah. So are we gonna go over everything first and then argue, or are we gonna argue them?
I think we should, because I mean, I'm assuming, okay, so for people at home, I don't think I mentioned this earlier, so we got 10 boards now. We're going to narrow it down to 6. So 4 from the list that we both provided are going to be cut. Now, yes, so we can kind of go through, or we can just like, because did you type down my responses? Did I type down yours? Okay, perfect.
I did.
So we got the full list in front of us. Are there any on here? Are there any on my list that you completely agree should be in there and are willing to be like, yeah, that's in there?
I do. I'm leaning towards Chilly Waters being in there because again, there aren't many snowboards, so even though it would be a remake of it, I think that one would definitely be the most unique, especially since what is it you have 2 Mario Party 3s. No, I just do think that Chilly Waters would be a good, I would argue that would honestly be, because that one is like the first board in 3, right?
I think so, yeah.
I honestly would be willing to make that, if we are like sticking to the star system in any way, like that being the first board or like the second one, for sure. But on mine, or is there any on mine that you think you absolutely would want to have stay?
I definitely agree with keeping, with putting in Koopa's Tycoon Town. It's honestly, it's not my favorite board. Like, it's a board that I actually don't really care that much for, but it is an iconic board. It is a board that like, a lot of people, particularly Gen Zers, will look at and be like, man, I remember that from my childhood. So if they do a Superstars 2 that relies more on the post-N64 Mario Party games, I do think that Koopa's Tycoon Town should 100% be in there.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I think... and I'm also leaning towards agreeing, so I'm going to agree with the second one, I think, from yours. I'm also thinking Bowser's Enchanted Inferno, just to have a Bowser board in there, because, like, oh, well, hold on, Clockwork Castle kind of,
fits that,
because Clockwork Castle is also, like, the unlockable, like,
yeah.
But it's not a Bowser board, though, so I think I'm going to agree with Bowser's Enchanted Inferno. I'll put that one in.
Okay. I actually want to go back on what I said about Chilly Waters, because I'm sitting here thinking, at least, since this one would be like you said, post N64 games, having any repeats or having at least more than one from a game does kind of feel a little wrong almost. Although it is a little funny because I am also noticing that neither you or I chose any from Mario Party 5, which I think is really telling.
Yeah.
Because
I nearly included Toy Dream. I nearly included Toy Dream, but I was like, that's too many basic boards in my list.
Yeah, that was the second one I was thinking after Towering Treetop, but then I ended up replacing it. But I would be willing to change Chilly Waters and replace it with Spiny Desert, and have like Spiny Desert and Bowser's Enchanted Inferno be like the 2 5-star ones. But I know that might be a little... Well, no, they're both hot related, but one's lava and one's desert, so I think those are different enough. Yeah,
they're different. And I even think Spiny Desert could technically also fall into a 4-star as well. Like, it's a difficult board, but it's not like a crazy, like, insanely difficult board.
Yeah.
So,
I would, and because of the Bowser's Enchanted Inferno, I'm willing to give up, or I'm willing to argue because you said you wanted to choose between Neon and Spiny Desert. I think dropping Neon Heights, I would argue that, just so that way that's not a factor anymore.
I agree.
Okay.
Man, this hurts.
So,
this hurts.
I know, it's like having to pick favorite children.
Yeah, because all these boards are great. Like, I think every single board, I mean, like, they're all stellar.
Absolutely.
Oh my god. This is so hard. I'm trying to think, because I think, honestly, another one from your list that we should contemplate keeping in there is Wiggler's Garden as well, for a DS representation. But
are you like arguing for it or against it?
I'm arguing for it. I'm arguing for it, Garden, but that would also mean me being like Towering Treetop is out, and that just hurts my soul.
I do agree, because I was thinking the same thing, because it would be nice to have DS representation, but it is at the cost of Towering Treetop. I will say I do have a lot of, or not a lot, but I have other DS stuff in my list for future things. Actually, I think I have literally one. Yeah, I have one DS thing outside of the board. But so that doesn't have to be like, I'm willing to give up Wiggler's Garden. But if we do choose Towering Treetop, then did we already say Clockwork Castle's on the definitive list?
We did not.
Then I think we probably, if we get Towering Treetop, I think we need to get rid of Clockwork, which does suck. But that way it's every board is from a unique game.
Yeah, and we'd have to also get rid of EGAD as well.
I'm willing to compensate for that. So, I'm not a strong EGAD pusher for this.
Okay, so we'll keep Treetop. Alright, so we'll keep Treetop. And then, okay, whew, I nearly messed up my list. Okay, so we're gonna keep Treetop, cut the other. Okay, so we're at 4. So actually, that would mean that literally the only other two. Well, no, hold on. Then we cut too much, because we still got two left, because the only thing that we haven't cut is Goomba, Greedy Gala.
Sure, I mean, we can just throw that on there.
So yeah, throw Goomba's Greedy Gala on there, because that's another we hadn't got anything for 4. That means we're gonna have to put one of the ones that we cut back in. So either Clockwork Castle, Chilly Waters, Neon Heights, Wiggler's Garden, or EGAD's Garage.
What are you? Because I have one in mind, but I want to hear what you would be willing to argue for.
I'm leaning. I mean, I've narrowed it down to. Oh my god. I mean, I've narrowed it down to 3, I think. Or no, I've narrowed it down to 2. Oh god. I mean, okay. Here's my mindset. I've narrowed it down.
Okay.
Which really only means I eliminated 2. So I've narrowed it down to Clockwork, Chilly, and EGAD, because they're the kind of different ones.
Yeah.
But from there, I'm struggling. Because it doesn't mean we'll have a repeat of a game, but like that's also not unprecedented from the original Superstars. So I
honestly would be willing to argue for Chilly Waters, just because Jamboree didn't have a Mario Party 3 board, so it could be like an apology. You know what I mean? Just like a neat little extra for the lack of representation in Superstars and Jamboree with them.
All right, so there we go. Okay, I'm down for that. And that works out perfectly, because that's 3 from your list and 3 from mine, so it worked out 50-50.
Perfect. I was trying to do math in my head, and I couldn't tell if I had 4, and I was going to feel like a jerk if I had 4.
Nope, the 3 from my list that got chosen were Towering Treetop, Chilly Waters, and Spiny Desert, and the 3 from your list were Goomba's Greedy Gala, Koopa's Tycoon Town, and Bowser's Enchanted Inferno.
Wow. Yeah, that's good. That means we have what, 2 5-star-esque ones, and then the rest are like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Exactly. So we're on it.
Yeah, we are.
And now we get to minigames. So here's how minigames are gonna work for people at home. So each of us have chosen 20 minigames each, and we're going to narrow the total down to 30, meaning 10 minigames are going to get cut. Obviously, like I said earlier, the game would have way more than 30 minigames, but like we're narrowing
the
it down.
Quintessential ones.
Yeah, and the rules for this one are anything that wasn't in Superstar, or any returning minigames that weren't in Jamboree or Superstars are eligible. Top 100, if something returned in top 100, it's completely fine to return here. So I think for this one, just because of how many minigames there are, I'll probably just rattle through my list. And then you can just rattle through your list, and I'll like send you like my list in a thing, so you don't have to type it all down.
Okay, that's perfect.
So
I will say, did you have like a did you have like a certain amount you did for each? Because I have mine kind of sorted.
I have mine sorted by game, but I definitely focused more on the GameCube ones. But like I basically have like I have an order. You'll see. It's pretty. Hold on. I'll send you my list here.
Okay.
Here. So I'll read it out. My list is Running of the Bull, reworked. So I'm gonna talk about that one. That's one that I tweaked kind of because they did tweak some mini games in Superstars. They tweaked Dizzy Dancing, so this is one they tweak. Lava Tile Isle from Mario Party 2, which is the block lava moving around survival one. There's Shock Drop and Roll, which is the one where it's a 1v3. There's the wheel, and the one player is like trying to get the other three off. Curtain Call, which is the memorization one, behind the curtain, all the characters in a row. That's from 3. Cliffhangers from Mario Party 4, where the 2v2, where two people are tied together, and there's a vibration, you gotta hold on to the cliff. Chain Chomp Fever, which is a battle minigame where Chain Chomp is trying to knock you out of an arena. Mr. Blizzard's Brigade, where Mr. Blizzards are throwing snowballs into an arena. If you get hit by the snowball, you're frozen and out. Mazed and Confused from Mario Party 5, which is the shifting, changing maze one. Then there's Hotel Goomba, which was in obviously Top 100, but not in Superstars, where punch Goombas, get through the maze, whatever. Circuit Maximus from Mario Party 6, where you're running through a little octagon and you're trying to avoid all of the amps. Blooper Scooper from Mario Party 6, where you want to avoid the blooper tentacles coming out from the water as you're in a giant whirlpool. Control Stick from Mario Party 6, which would be tough with double Joy-Cons, but it could be like the motion control minigames where you have to use a Pro Controller, but you have to like put the sticks, in the corresponding direction. AKA more intense, Shy Guy says. There's Light Up My Night from Mario Party 6, which is a dual minigame where you're lighting candles in a dark arena and you're trying to find each one. From Mario Party 7, Fun Run. Shocked this one hasn't come back. This is a stellar one where you're running along, jumping over Spinies. Excellent minigame. Battery Ram from Mario Party 7. Another freaking stellar minigame. A 2v2 where you're trying to navigate this ram through a literal battery ram through a field. Freaking chaos. Camp Ukiki from Mario Party 7, which is a dual minigame where you're going through an obstacle course. King of the Thrill from Mario Party 8, which is a 2v2 fighty one. Player Conveyor, which is one where there's a bunch of conveyor belts that all lead to a center point, and you have to like navigate onto the conveyor belt, and the one that leads correctly to the center. Cruising for a Bruising from Super Mario Party, so I did include a Super Mario Party one in here, where this one's the one where all the bruisers come out and just punching you like wild. And then Study Fall for Mario Party DS, which is a reaction timed one. As you're falling down the chalkboard, you hit A as close as you can to the bottom without getting hit. Please, for the love of God, tell me that there was at least a couple minigames in this that we had in common.
There is like 5 I can already see, I believe.
Okay.
So I will say off the bat, the ones that we already have in common are oh no, I did take control. I had Control Stick originally, but then I was thinking about the Joy-Cons, and I'm like, they're probably going to prioritize or optimize for lowest common denominator of half or one Joy-Con. So I was like, I don't know how. Maybe with the stick and with the buttons, so left one.
That's another solution. That's like, I actually did like a video where I like said that I was like, you could do like a stick and a button combination or something like that.
Yeah. I did not have that. We did almost have the exact same Mario Party 7 minigames.
Ooh.
I have Fun Run on mine, and I have Camp Ukiki on mine.
Okay.
And I was debating between Battery Ram, and then I ended up replacing it with another minigame that I will get to in a minute. And then, those are actually the only 2 that we had in commman.
Wow. There
are a couple 6 ones that I'm surprised aren't on here, but I guess I'll get your opinion in a second.
Yeah.
So, I did to preface. Since you were in the mindset of like you were just going through minigames and then just adding them. You weren't thinking about like, oh, do I have this many 4-player, this many 2?
Because of the fact that there would be like way more than this, I just wanted to go for these are the ones from each game that I like the most, regardless of the 2v2, the 3v, the 1v3. I included a bit of everything, but like
yeah. I did immediately limit myself just so I wouldn't like have an abundance of 4-player, because there were a lot of 4-player I had on my mind. So I did choose 8 4-player, 4 1v3, 4 2v2, 2 battle, and then 2 duel. So I'm glad that neither of us did any item mini games, because
what's the point of that?
yeah. So I will also send a list to you really quickly. These are definitely going to be hard to narrow down, because if we only have 2 in common,
that's insane.
It's gonna be, that is very surprising. So, going from the top, I had Toad's Quick Draw from 4, reaction timing, 1st to 3. My second favorite minigame for Mario Party 1 being Hop a Bomb, and specifically the Mario Party 1 edition, where you don't have to click B to catch it like you do in 2. Throw Me a Bone from 6, because that one's always reminded me of Angry Birds for some reason. So I like that one, and I like it more than Night Fright, I think it's called, from 5.
Yeah.
As I said, I had Fun Run. I have Mini Match from 10, which is like there's a wheel of enemies. Oh, actually, I might be able to just copy paste this to you. No. Okay, so it's there's like a wheel of enemies, and it's like rainbow. And you're supposed to remember as many as you can, and then everybody chooses one by one and has to choose what enemy that was. And it's like battle royale style, or it's elimination style. So it's like last one standing wins. You'll definitely remember when you look up an image of it. I have Bomb on Breakers for Mario Party 4, which since Superstars already had Mario's Puzzle Party. Is that what it's called?
Yes. I think Mario Party had a few of the puzzle ones. I think, right? I think it had Puzzle Party. It had, I think, 6s, and it had 7s. But puzzle.
Yes. Okay, I actually forgot that Superstars had more than one, but I chose that one because you can go in other people's lanes, which I always thought was neat. Mario Party. My other Mario Party DS representation was Domino Effect. I originally had Peak Precision from 9, which was like the wall.
The wall.
And you had to click. Yeah. So it's essentially that, but with just face buttons. And then Pipe Cleaners for Mario Party 3, because that one is definitely, that is my favorite minigame from 3.
Wait,
I don't know why, but it's the one where there's 4 pipes in the corners of the screen, and you have to hold up in A, down in A, up in B, or down in B, and you have to Koopa Kids.
Yep, okay.
That one. 1v3s, I chose Bulldozers from Mario Party 6, because when I'm the one, I guarantee every time I can win within 10 seconds, I've figured out how to optimize the hell out of that one, and I don't know why. The one I replaced Battering Ram with was this one, and it's Balloonatic from 7, which is the ship one where there's 3 cannons, and then there's the person in the one. Yep, okay. Hide and Go Boom from Mario Party 4.
Classic.
I figured I'd throw in another Luck 1v3, kind of like it's not called Curtain Call, but the one from 3 where it's like the rock, the mushroom house, the tree stump, and
that's oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And then I figured, just because Superstars had a couple infamous ones, why not throw Heat Stroke into the mix for this one? And I'm literally in the I'm in the mindset that they keep the controls the exact same and the animation being the exact same, so it's still just as unfair for no reason, just to make it annoying. 2v2s, I had Clean Team from 6 because I feel like that's such a violently unique minigame, or at least a 2v2 minigame. Sphere Factor from 7. Do you know that one off the top of your head?
Sphere Factor.
It's the one where there's a red and a blue ball, and you're in like a dirt, and there's like obstacles, and you have to push the ball.
Yeah.
There's that one. There's Order Up from 4.
That's the memorization. Yeah.
And then Winging It from Mario Party 7, which is just both teams are mashing A as fast as possible to get the Paratroopa to fly up farther. Just because there isn't that many A button masher 2v2s. Battle, I had Control Stick, which I actually changed that, and I don't know where. Oh no, that's right. I originally had Eyesore for Mario Party 3 there. And I'm honestly willing to change Control Stick to that, but we already have a lot of different minigames.
I mean, if you want, I'll say it right now, since you already had Control Stick on there, we could just include that into our agreed on list.
Okay, I actually am beyond willing to do that. And then I had another battle I had was Day at the Races for Mario Party 2, just as another infamous one, because for some reason people hate that one. But like I understand why. It's a pure luck battle minigame. So, yeah. Duel, as I said, Camp Ukiki we had similar. And then the other duel was T-5 from 6, which is the ground pound one with the 5 yellow panels. Yeah, that one.
Ooh.
So those are my 20.
Okay, so we've already got 3 confirmed. So we've got Control Stick, Fun Run, and Camp Ukiki. Now, to get the other 17.
I do want to ask you, actually. So immediately on my list, are there any that you're just like, I'm not a fan of, or just straight up like, no? Like, what aren't you fond of whatsoever?
Okay. The ones that I'm not a big fan of, I'll have to look up Mini Match, because I actually don't remember that one, so I'll have to look that one up quickly. And what was Domino Effect again?
That was the one with the, you have to click the face buttons as fast as possible to hop across logs of wood. You might have to look, when you look at the image,
okay.
you'll know.
Yeah, I definitely know. I definitely recognize that one. I'll keep that one around. So I think Toad's Quick Draw is the one with the balloons, right?
Yeah.
So I would, that one's, oh god, okay. So that one I'm gonna keep as a maybe. I like that one. Hop a Bomb, okay. I'm fine with. Throw Me a Bone is a really good one. Fun Run we already agreed on. Mini Match I'll have to look up real quick. Bomb Breakers, I mean, you see, here's the thing, I'm naturally biased against the puzzle ones. I hate the puzzle minigames notoriously, but yes, every Mario Party does have its puzzle one. So
I was absolutely in the same mindset as you, because it took me a while to come around to Mario's Puzzle Party.
Yeah, so because of the fact that most Mario Party games just have the puzzle one, are you willing to just kind of just keep that one? Because
I mean, that's more on you, because I would want it, but if you're not a fan of it, but you want to keep like the consistency of every game having one.
I will say, yeah, and plus it is one of the better ones. Like I like you said, I agree. I like that you can mess with your opponents, that you can go into their field. So I do like that. I do agree with that.
Okay.
Let's see, Domino Effect, I'll have to look up again. Pipe Cleaners might be my first one that I'm like, eh.
Really? Interesting. Okay.
It's like, I mean, it's not a bad minigame. Just like when I'm thinking of like the ones that I'm like, ooh, I really like this one, should really be here. I'm like, it's good.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's that. Bulldozers is another one where I'm like, it's a good minigame.
Yeah.
And it is pretty balanced too, I will say. It is one of the more balanced ones in my opinion. But is it like one that I'm like
pushing for? I do understand.
I'll keep it in the maybe for now. That one might get cut though.
Okay.
Balloonatic might be one where I'm like, I'm not sure about that one. I don't know about Balloonatic.
Okay.
So, and I'm not like, none of these are being like cut right out. They're just the ones that for me just are on the chopping block.
Yeah.
Hide and Go Boom. I mean, for me, Hide and Go Boom, I think it's a classic, is a keeper. I think that one. If you agree, we can just put that one on the keep as well.
I'm willing. I am a pusher, an avid pusher for that one, so I would like that.
Okay, and let's see. You know, and it's so funny. Heat Stroke, I'm honestly kind of in agreement with you on, so I'll keep that one around, as stupid as it is.
I was about to say the exact same thing, that I want to push for that one just to have it.
You want to put it on? You want to put it on there automatically? All right, let's do it.
We need an infamous one. We have to. I feel.
Oh god. Okay, this is so cursed. Okay, so let's see. Clean Team is next. This one I'm willing to keep around for a little bit longer. I like that one. Sphere Factor.
I am willing to give that one up in replacement for Battery RAM.
Okay.
I'm willing to just get rid of that one.
So keep Battery RAM and get rid. Okay, perfect. That I completely forgot about Battery RAM. Yeah, that would have been something we do. Okay, yeah, agreed. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Order Up is another one where I think that one's a keeper too. I think that one's one that should stick around.
Interesting, because that one was one I wasn't like, I was willing to give up. But if you are avidly wanting it, then yeah.
Then we'll keep it around for now, and we can maybe cut it later. We'll keep it in the conversation. Winging It. Oh, I'm not...
Just because I didn't have a button masher, and I don't think you had a button masher.
I don't think I have any button mashers either.
Ooh. So I know that one's unique, but
I'll keep it around for at least a little bit longer. Cause I actually don't really, for some reason I'm blanking on that one.
It is. I don't know. That I had to when I never remember the name of it. I have to look it up every time.
Yeah, let me open up this another tab here.
And then look up mini match too.
Mini match. Oh, okay, yeah, I do remember that vaguely, and then it's Winging It Mario Party. Okay, yeah, now I remember that one. Okay, yeah, I'll keep both in the conversation for now.
Okay.
Day at the Races.
No?
Oh,
I was gonna avidly push for that one because I think that's such a meme along with Heat Stroke. But if you're not a fan, actually no. I want to argue for that one, but we can wait until.
We'll wait for that one. Let's see.
Okay.
Control Stick we already got. T-5. That's an interesting one because that one's a timing one. I'll keep that one in the conversation. I'll keep that one around.
Oh wait, I actually need to edit that message because I changed Control Stick to eyesore.
Eyesore. For what it's worth, I probably still would have cut it, but I'll keep it in the conversation. I hate that video.
Okay.
Let's see. Cave and Kiki we already have. Okay, that's it. Okay, so
wait, what did you say about T-5? Did you say
T-5? I said we'll keep it in the conversation.
Okay.
This is gonna take us ages. Oh my god, I didn't think how long this.
Well, I was coloring mine, and I made all the ones you were like not a fan of red because we have 40. We need to cut it to 30. So I was thinking more of we argue like our top 5 least favorites, and then we just kind of like settle for one, like how I really want Day at the Races, but you don't. Then we can like once we figure out the obvious ones, we're like, yeah, we can get rid of. Then we can argue for the ones we do want.
Okay, so we'll head back to your list in a little bit. Now, what about my list? What on there do you personally like a lot or not really care for?
So here, I'm gonna copy paste these real quick. So immediately off the bat, I hate, this might be a hot take, but I hate almost every 2v2 from Mario Party 4, other than Dungeon Duos and there's like one, maybe 2 more. But cliffhangers, I just can't. I can do it, but I just am not a fan of it. That one's one I'm pushing to get rid of, but I can be swayed. Here, I'm gonna make that one red. Another one is Blooper Scooper from Mario Party 6. I don't like. I don't know. There's nothing really that special about it to me. It's just kind of avoid the bad thing. But I mean, like that also could describe like half the minigames ever. Like that really isn't an argument. That's just me. It's just not for me, I think. But that is the one again I could personally be swayed by. I'm not a fan of Light Up My Night either, because that one kind of is luck. Because if you just happen to spawn in front of less than your opponent, then that just feels like so cheap. Because I have had games where I've lost a duel just because one person spawned near more, and it wasn't like, oh, I just didn't see them. Like, no, point blank, there was like 4 in front of them, 1 kind of a little distance away, and then with me, it was like a big open area with them in the corners, but I just couldn't find any. It was just like an unfortunate experience.
What if it's rebalanced?
Now that one is fair. And I would obviously be willing to do that.
Oh, and something I forgot to mention earlier, because I had mentioned that Running of the Bulb was reworked. Here's how I'd rework it. Because I like the concept of it. It would kind of be a little more similar to something like Skateboard Scamper, where everyone has a light bulb, and there's only one generator at the end. Whoever gets their light bulb in the generator at the end wins. And obviously you got all the boos and things coming at you. So rather than working together and stomping the boos, you just have to avoid them all. You can probably screw over your opponent by jumping on them, and you can do all that all while going to the ball. So yes, this is a reworked minigame. So it doesn't, but they did it with Disney Dancing, so I'm setting the precedent they can do it here with that one. And plus I want to include one from every Mario Party one from every 1 through 8. Actually, I 1 through 9 actually even I included from, but yeah.
And I have one from 10, and you have one from Super. So we have... I think we should immediately put on... Because I didn't have any from 8 or 9, and you had ones from 8, 9, and Super. So I think we should put King of the Thrill, Player Conveyor, Mini Match and Cruising for a Bruising all on the definitive list.
Now,
just because that way it's representation.
Here's the thing. The one thing I was thinking of, particularly with Super Mario Party's Cruising for a Bruising, since it's already in a Switch Mario Party earlier, I didn't even think about that. Like, it is already in Super Mario Party. Do you still want to include that in with the...
Honestly, just because, like, a lot of these are... I'm willing to get rid of that one, to be honest, because that would be just a little weird, I fear.
Yeah, and I also did have, I don't know if you said this one, but I also do have Study Fall from DS. Did you want to include that one? Because that's a DS minigame.
I do like that one, but what? There was another reaction time one, wasn't there?
I think one on your list, I think, right? Because I don't think I had any other ones on my
Toad's
list.
Quick Draw.
Yeah.
That was the one I also had.
That is also kind of different. Like
it is.
It is, and also Study Fall does have a dual minigame variant. So if anything, we could say that can carry over the Study Fall dual minigame and have it be a reaction time dual minigame as opposed to because Quick Draw, it's like you're looking around for the balloon and you're trying to keep track of all the colors, and so
that is different enough. Okay, I'm willing to keep Study Fall. But that one is one I'm willing to like drop if we need to drop like one or two more. I'm not a strong advocate for that, but if we're just filling it up, then
yeah,
we'll keep that. I think those are all the ones.
Right, so how many do we have?
Actually, no. I do want to argue for Curtain Call from 3. I don't like that one.
Okay, I'm fine with cutting that one. I'm fine with cutting that one.
Oh,
I included it on there. I did include it on there because, like, again, like I had nothing from 3, so I was like, because I think 3 has some of the worst mini games in the series, in my personal opinion.
Oh, you're so based for that.
So
I do think 3 has a lot of mid, like 4 to 6 out of 10 mini games overall.
Yeah. So for me, it was like a lot of the good ones have already been chosen for the past one. So I was like, so yeah, you know what? I'm fine. Yeah. I'm fine with cutting it.
Okay. So I think at least from what I've highlighted, I have 3 on your list that are like no's. And then on mine, at least if I did it right, I also have 3 from you that you were just like,
Which ones? Pipe Cleaners, Balloonatics,
and Sphere Factor.
So, okay. So if you want, we could just cut those 3 from each of our lists.
So that means we need to cut 4 more?
Oh, wait. Actually, you have more cut from my list. You have Curtain Call, Cliffhangers, Blooper Scooper. Well, you said Cliffhangers and Blooper Scooper. You're willing to negotiate. But Cruising for a Bruising, Light Up My Night, Blooper Scooper, Cliffhangers, Curtain Call. So you have 5 cut from my list.
Wait, can you list them again? I think I'm missing one.
Curtain Call for Mario Party 3, Cliffhangers for Mario Party 4, Blooper Scooper for Mario Party 6, Light Up My Night for Mario Party 6, and Cruising for a Bruising from Super.
Okay. There we go. I didn't highlight Light Up My Night. Okay. Yeah, those to me are the weak ones. I also was going to argue for King of the Thrill Knot, but because there is an 8 representation, I feel like that needs to stay, and I'm not like strongly hating towards that one.
Yeah, I mean, the main reason I'm keeping it is because like it's one of the only minigames from 8 that like does not really need or doesn't need the motion controls at all. So like it was one where I was like, I feel like that's just kind of the obvious pick.
That would work.
And plus, like a brawler 2v2, you don't really get many of those. So okay, so
it is also really interesting. Neither of us chose a single coin minigame at all.
Yeah, no. Well, because they're okay, but they're never usually the most fun mini games.
Yeah, no, they're just kind of like filler. So okay. I understand.
So if we're cutting those 5, Curtain Call, Cliffhangers, Blooper Scooper, Light Up My Night, and Cruising for a Bruising, are you fine with the rest of the list?
But that leaves us with what, 34?
Well, yeah, because if we wanted to do it, if you wanted to do it half and half, because you would cut 5 and I would cut 5, or like 5 from your list and 5 from mine.
Yeah.
That I could just figure out. Because I think I said, yeah, we can cut, so if I choose 2 more, if you want to argue to bring back one of them, that's fine too. But, because are you, because I'm fine with you cutting all of those. I mean, as much, I want to keep Light Up My Night just a little bit, but I'm fine with it being cut.
I'm willing to trade if we both have 3, are there, of the ones that I have, are there two or three more that you're? I know the ones that you're half and half on are a lot. I know.
Yeah,
Winging It. You are not a fan of.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking from the ones because I marked the ones I'm definitely thinking of cutting. So I think the ones that I'm fine with getting rid of are Pipe Cleaner, Balloonatic, Sphere Factor, Winging It, and what was the other one? An Eyesore.
Okay. I personally want Pipe Cleaners or Eyesore just because then there's no Mario Party 3 representation because I cut Curtain Call from yours.
Oh, let me look
so
at
I think we need to keep one or the other.
You know what?
And let's hear it.
I'm willing to keep Pipe Cleaners.
That makes me so happy. That was the one I didn't think you were gonna want at all. And I love that one.
I'm willing to keep that one. Okay, so that one's a keep. Okay, so I'm gonna go through your list. I'll keep Toad, Quick Draw, keep Hop a Bomb, keep Throw Me a Bone. We've already agreed on Fun Run. Hold on, let me look up Domino Effect again. Domino Effect. Then Mario Party DS. Okay, I do remember this one. Because this one's not really reaction timing, so this one's different enough. This one's just like button inputs. Yeah, I'll keep that one.
Yeah, it is like I've seen them in like the TAS speedruns of Mario Party DS stuff. I forget the guy's name, but he did like the best TAS of minigames, and that was one of them.
Okay, I'll keep that one.
What about Mini Match and Bomb on Breakers? What are your opinions on those?
Mini Match, I decided to keep. I forgot to say it. That's right,
because it's the only 10 one.
Yeah. Balloonatic, I think I'll cut.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with cutting that one.
So Hide and Go Boom, I'll keep. Heat Stroke, I'll keep. So wait, how many am I at?
Peer Factor.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, Peer Factor. I forgot about that one. Peer Factor. That one's the luck one, right? The fishing one from 9.
Oh no, Sphere Factor.
Oh, Sphere Factor.
7.
Oh, that one I want to cut.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it's interesting how the 3 you were wanting to cut were all from Mario Party 7.
Mario Party 7 has some really solid mini games. It's just that none of the ones you chose are the ones I'm like, yes.
Yeah, apparently not. That's interesting.
Yeah. But to be fair though, the other ones, the ones that were on my list, were all also on yours. So
yeah.
So let's see. Clean Team, I'll keep. Order Up, I'll keep. Hold on, how many am I at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay.
You're at 12 from my list?
From your list. So I can only choose 3 more. So let's see.
If you need some push, I personally want Day at the Races, because as another meme one, but I know you were like,
you know what? Fine, because there's not much more selection anyways.
Oh, okay, yeah, so... here, wait, how about this? If I'm pushing for that, I'm willing to get rid of another one of your games for Light Up My Night.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Let me see which ones I'd be willing to get rid of for Light Up My Night. Oof, that's a good one. That's a
So that way it's fair.
Let's see here.
Because the ones I think I didn't want from you were Curtain Call, Cliffhangers, Blooper Scooper. Oh wait. Oh yeah, and then Study Fall was also one I'm like iffy on, just because we already do have Toad's Quick Draw, but it is slightly
how about
different,
this?
Like we said.
How about this? Because we also said Study Fall, we could do like the dual minigame variant to differentiate it. So how about we cut Study Fall still and just replace it with Light Up My Night.
Okay, I'm perfect. I'm willing to trade that.
Okay. Holy crap. Oh, this is gonna be a wild thing to edit. Okay, so we're gonna keep Light Up My Night. Oh my god. Okay, perfect. Because we actually didn't have that much. Actually, no, Mario Party 6 got some decent love.
Yeah.
So, okay, hold on. So, I'm gonna run through my list just to make sure what we're keeping and not keeping from mine. So,
okay.
Running of the Bulb, the reworked version. Would you keep that?
Yes.
Okay. Lava Tile Isle. Would you keep that one?
We haven't really talked about those two.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that one, but if we do need to cut another one, I would be willing to drop Lava Tile Isle because I'm not that strong of an advocate for it.
Okay. Well, that's true. Well, we brought back. Okay, hold on. So, okay, so I'll put that one as keep, but we'll come back to that one if need be. Shock, drop, and roll from 2.
Keep. I think that's a good one.
So let's see. Curtain Call, we're cutting. Cliffhangers, we're cutting. Chain Chomp Fever.
Yep. I do like that one a lot too. I'm willing to keep that one.
Okay. Mr. Blizzard Brigade.
Keep.
That's a good one too, yeah. Mazed and Confused.
Keep, but I'm willing to debate no for that.
Okay. I mean, see, I really like that one, so that one I'll argue for. What about Hotel Goomba?
Also a keep, but I'm willing to trade or something if I'm not a strong advocate for that one either.
Okay. What about Circuit Maximus?
I would say keep, but if it comes down to arguing, I would say we either choose Maze and Confuse or Circus Maximus since they're both amp or like zap based mini games, but that's like I'm kind of stretching on that one.
Well, that's the thing is right now, because if we are doing the cut 5, then we're set with my list. Because the ones that are cut are Curtain Call, Cliffhangers, Blooper Scooper, Cruising for a Bruising, and Study Fall. Those are the 5 that are cut.
Okay.
And then the rest.
Then yeah, the rest of them I'm okay with.
All right, perfect. So then going down to yours. So that's
we need.
So let's see. That's 15 for mine. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, I still need 2 more.
Wait, 2 more on yours to keep?
I need to keep 2 more from your list.
Okay.
T minus 5. I forgot to approve that one, so I need 1 more.
Oh, okay.
So,
what are you thinking?
This is absolute.
Oh wait, did you say for Bomb Breakers? Did you say approve that or no?
That one's approved.
Okay.
So the ones I got approved are Toad's Quick Draw, Hop a Bomb, Throw Me a Bone, Meanie Match, Bomb Breakers, Domino Effect, Pipe Cleaners, Bulldozers, Hide and Go Boom, Heat Stroke, Clean Team, Order Up, Day at the Races, and T minus 5. And like obviously some of the other ones on your list are the ones that we both had. So like Campu Kiki, Fun Run.
Okay. So the four that you have for mine gone is Balloonatic, Fear Factor, Winging It, and Eyesore.
Yes.
Okay. So what's the one on my list, and why is it Day at the Races?
Well, no, I need to cut 1 more.
Yeah, is that the? Oh wait,
no, that one's safe. That one's safe.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one we made a deal to keep. You know what? As much as I hate to say it, I think my final keep it'll be Eyesore. I think out of those ones, I think
to get rid of
to keep. That will be the last keep.
Oh.
Because honestly, as much as a pain in the ass that minigame is, it's still a tense one. It can be pretty tense. It can be pretty competitive. So, and plus Mr. I is cool. So you know what? I'll keep that one. So, okay, with my stupid math aside, there we go. We got our 30. So I'm gonna run through them. The reworked Running of the Bulb, Lava Tile Isle, Shock Drop and Roll, Chain Chomp Fever, Mr. Blizzard's Brigade, Mazed and Confused, Hotel Goomba, Circuit Maximus, Control Shtick, Light Up My Night, Fun Run, Battery Ram, Campu Kiki, King of the Thrill, Player Conveyor, Toad Quick Draw, Hop a Bomb, Throw Me a Bone, Meanie Match, Bomb Breakers, Domino Effect, Pipe Cleaners, Bulldozers, Hide and Go Boom, Heat Stroke, Clean Team, Order Up, Day at the Races, Eyesore, T minus 5.
Okay, I think that's 30.
Yeah.
I think that is 30.
If it's not what I'm editing, whoops.
Noodles.
So that was a long one, but the other 2 categories I think are going to be pretty quick because they're both really short.
Yeah.
So next up we got characters, which we each picked 4, and we got to narrow it down to 4. So half of them are being wiped. I'll let you go first. Just list off your 4 characters because we want to get to this quickly.
Okay. This one was definitely the one I didn't have the most, this one was for some reason hard. I didn't really know how to go about this. Yeah. But the 4 that I choose...
Let me quickly mention, for the people at home, I should mention this as well, we're building off of Superstars' roster. So the 10 characters from Superstar: Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Rosalina, Yoshi, Birdo, Donkey Kong, 8?
I think it's only 8. Is it 8 or is
Oh,
it 10?
Wario Waluigi. I don't know. I forgot them. 10.
Oh,
I'm like, it's 10. I forgot Wario Waluigi. So those 10 are automatically in. We're just adding 4 to that.
Yeah. So the 4 that I have are, we have Toad.
I have Toad. So Toad's already in.
Okay, then. Okay, I have Boo.
I also have Boo.
Okay, I have a feeling you're gonna have this one. I have Koopa Kid.
I also have Koopa Kid.
And then the last one I have is Pauline.
Okay, we can argue about the last one.
Okay.
Okay, so, yes. I also have Koopa Kid. I also have Toad. I also have Boo. My last character, though, was Blooper. Because I wanted to choose a character from Mario Party 8.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, so we can argue. Okay, so Koopa Kid, Toad, and Boo, they're in. So we don't need to worry about those three. It's just the
now
last
it's Pauline or Blooper? Okay.
What a freaking argument this is. Oh my god. Freaking Pauline versus Blooper.
I don't even know how to debate that. Because, like, I mean, it sucks because Blooper, it, like, literally was only playable in 1. But that same argument applies to Pauline. But Pauline's been pushed in more games. And, like, my reasoning for Pauline was because, like, even though Rosalina was literally only playable in 10, well, and Super, but Super wasn't, like, a part of Superstars, she still somehow made the Superstars list. And so that was the exact same mindset I had with Pauline. Yeah. But what about you? Is yours just because Mario Party 8?
Yeah, I wanted, that thing is, like, I wanted my roster to reflect that era of Mario Party to be like the kind of superstar. That's why for me, Koopa Kid, well, I mean, obviously Koopa Kid, like Bowser Jr., you can, flip in, but like, I mean, Koopa Kid just because it's Koopa Kid, but also Toad and Boo were staples in GameCube and Wii Mario Party. So I'm like, they're just must-haves. And Blooper, I thought, like, yes, he was in Mario Party 8, and because he only had that one playable appearance, and he still is that kind of weird oddball character, I thought it would be cool to have that oddball character in there. Well, I mean, that Koopa Kid kind of counts as an oddball character nowadays, but I mean, like, Blooper was, like, the kind of one that's, like, you wouldn't have seen him come back. Like, you wouldn't have thought he'd come back. Yeah.
It's so odd, because I'm thinking about, like, uniqueness, and both Blooper and Pauline, like, are... Pauline's similar to Peach, Daisy, Rosalina, because it's another, like, solid-colored woman character, like, red, and then Rosalina blue, orange, pink. But then Blooper is also a flying white Bowser minion, so it's just, like, Boo is right there, and since we have Boo, it's, like, that's kind of similar. So it's, like, I really don't know how to, like, argue. Like, both of them have, like, the same downfalls and pros and cons, I feel. I don't really know how to... The only thing I could, like, I feel like I have over Pauline has over Blooper is that Pauline is being pushed more in Mario games now. While I don't even think you can play as Blooper in Mario Kart World.
Yeah, no, you can't even play as Blooper in Mario Kart World. Like, what the heck?
So,
you can play as Mario Tennis, though. Mario Tennis Aces, for what it's worth.
Wasn't Pauline playable, too?
Yes, minor detail.
Shit. Well, it sucks because I do want, like, was it Hudson representation with Blooper? But again, I feel like that's so weird to have 2 white flying Bowser minion characters.
Yeah, I mean...
But I am willing to give up Pauline for that, but I have a feeling Matt is gonna be upset about that.
I wish we only got 2 of the other ones right, so at least we can, like, trade, like, we can be like, okay, you can get one, I get one, but now it's like, we actually have to freaking narrow it down to 1. Oh.
How about, okay, I know you said we need to narrow it down to 4, but how come since, actually that would make the menu look weird.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I didn't want to choose an odd number.
Yeah. We could, okay, here, I'm willing to make an argument here, right? Okay. So, the random button in Superstars is awkwardly on the way, like, left, right? And it's in the middle. So hear me out. If with the rules that we've applied with the boards and the minigames of each of us starting with a certain amount, and then we have to agree on a slightly higher amount, what if we did agree on these 5, since we had 3 in common, and then that evens out to, while it is, 15 characters, there is 16 button options. so it doesn't look weird.
You know, only because of the fact that 3 of our characters match, I will concede to that, and I will agree. We'll add both Blooper and Pauline to the roster.
Okay, because I don't know how to I don't want to give it up, but I don't have any reasons to.
I mean, like, it was just the I mean, Pauline, like, isn't, like, an oddball character anymore, but she's still so new to being relevant, you know, to games where it's like, you know, like, she just got added to Mario Party with Jamboree, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll move on to the last point, because I know you gotta go in, like, 15 minutes.
Okay.
So this last point is, each of us have 3 features or things that we want to come back, or even new features, new things that we could have added, or like just to Mario Party, and this could be just anything. And I'll say mine first, because I have a feeling we might have 1 or 2 of these in common as well, I think. Even though this is...
I think there's one we both for sure do. And I'm confident with one.
Is it the first one I have here, which is 50 turn mode?
No, actually, that was not what I had.
So, yes. So, I have 50 turn, and it kind of ties into the second one as well. So, 50 turns returning. Also, second point, being able to adjust movement speed on the board. Because, like, you could in the
Oh, that's games. A good one. Yeah.
And third one, this isn't anything that's ever been done. I'm pretty certain it's never been done. But being able to choose your bonus stars. Choosing the bonus stars that pop up at the end.
Oh, that's really good. That is actually really good. Okay. Those are... I could see that we had... You had a lot more, like... Actually, no. My mind would definitely fall into those. Those are all 3 of those are really good. So, this is going to be interesting.
Oh, God.
We have to narrow these down to 4, right?
4, yeah. 4 total.
Yeah.
So we have to cut 2.
Okay. I'm surprised you didn't choose this. But my first one, and then when you DM'd me this is the first thing that came to my mind, was bringing back custom mini game packs from 4.
Ooh.
I thought for sure you were gonna do that one, because that's at least like how when I read that, I thought like that was just what first came to mind. Because that obviously hasn't come back since. The second thing was regarding spaces, I was arguing that Game Guy and Dual Spaces return in all boards.
Ooh.
So that means even the boards that didn't have, well, basically every board that we agree on, except for Spiny Deserts and Chilly Waters. Like, you know, Game Guy gets added to those boards.
Ooh, okay.
And it's the exact same, in my mind at least, like same principles, it's luck, you know. And then the last thing I had was... despite the games that didn't have them on the boards that we agreed, all boards, items aren't a thing anymore. It is orbs, like it was from 6 and 7. Everything is orbs, just like, so, like, it wouldn't be that weird on, oh wait, we got rid of Wiggler's Garden because of hexes. So, but like, yeah, I argued orbs on all of them, so that way it's not like weird going from candies from Koopa's Tycoon down. If we did keep Wiggler's Garden, it's not hexes and items, and then 4 Goomba's Greedy Gal is just items. You know, everything is orbs. Everything.
Oh my god, this is gonna be tough. I think all 6 of these are things that Nintendo should bring back. If you want, we could just do, for simplicity's sake, I have to cut one thing, you have to cut one thing.
Okay.
So, like,
I'm
if
willing
you want,
to do that.
I can choose what to cut from your list, and you can choose what to cut from my list.
Okay. And then if we want to argue one for the other of ours, we can do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So what on mine are you on?
It's tough. I mean, that's the thing, is I'm not mad on any of them, but if I'm going to cut one of them, it probably would be the custom minigame packs one.
Interesting. Okay. That one I feel like, I'm not gonna lie, I agree. I think that is like the weakest of my 3, because having orbs in all of them would be really nice, and, you know, less of a toll on the devs, I feel like, if in the world that this is a thing. And Game Guy and Dual Spaces are almost like a must, like, I feel like, and Game Guy is just funny, you know?
Yeah.
On yours, I love all 3 of them. But the one that I would cut is probably movement speed,
Ooh.
but only because I would rather have the option of having a 50 turn or like a 35, 40, 50, more turns and choose bonus stars as a like option than I would movement speed, because that isn't that detrimental to me.
Wow. Okay, that's actually really easy. I thought we were both gonna have to bite, because like I actually agree with that. That's probably my weakest one as well.
Oh wow, okay. Look at that. That's awesome, man.
So there you guys have it. That's our custom Mario Party. I won't go through it all again. I won't read through everything, but if you're watching on YouTube, then I'll have like a lot of the information on screen. If you're listening to the podcast on like Spotify or Apple Podcasts, whatever, you can check out. You've obviously listened to the whole thing. But is there anything else you wanted to add before we end off today's podcast?
I feel like it's almost tedious too, but I did write down a few, like, I had another section on my Google Docs called technicalities regarding some of the boards, or at least regarding spaces and whatnot, because some aren't in others. So can I go through them real quick? Because I did kind of think this one through. So regarding, I guess this one doesn't matter because we didn't do Wiggler's Garden. Warp spaces in Mario Party 4 obviously aren't in any other game. So I was going to argue that all the warp spaces that are on Grooba's Greedy Gala got replaced with Game Guy spaces. So that way that one's just easy. Well, I think there's hold on. Yeah, look it up real quick. And if there is a lot, I feel like that's perfectly on theme, because Goomba's Greedy Gala is a casino.
Gambling, that actually is valid. Okay, there's not as many as I thought there were, but there are 4.
Okay, I know Mario Party 3, I think every board has 1 or 2 at most. So I think 4 is valid because, again, it is a casino.
Yeah, I thought there was like 5 or 6 or something like that. Okay, 4, that's a little more manageable. Okay.
Regarding Koopa's Tycoon Town, I know Lucky Spaces are in the game. In Mario Party 8 terms, and then in, Superstars terms, there's also Lucky Spaces. But I was going to argue that, those Lucky Spaces in 8 or on Koopa's Tycoon Town are still there. I don't know what they would be called, but they still would act the exact same, sending you to that like mystical 3-star hotel. Yeah. So that way that's still part of the board.
I mean, it's a pretty big mechanic of the board too,
Yeah. So that would be the same. Day night, like on we agreed. Day night and Towering Treetop would still be every 3 turns.
Yeah.
That would not change, and it's also not on every board. It's just like Horrorland and Mario Party 2 or Mario Party Superstars.
Yeah.
And then also Bowser Time would also only be on Enchanted Inferno and work the exact same.
Yeah.
So those were but Mike spaces on that board would all be replaced with Game Guy as well.
Makes sense.
But I think there's I don't know how many Mike spaces.
1 or 2, like at most.
Okay.
I think.
Then yeah, those would get replaced.
Bowser's Enchanted Inferno. Let me look that up just to make sure I'm not talking out of my butt. Yeah, there's 2.
Okay. Then yeah, those are all like the very specific technicalities of like blah blah blah, but what if blah 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 that I wanted to just throw out there.
And with something like for like DK spaces, would they because they're in 6 and 7, would they be on like the 3 and 4 boards as well?
Shit, I guess I didn't think about it as far as as much as I did. I do think that, well, DK spaces regarding DK's playable. Then
they would be Funky Kong, like I said with like Tower and Treetop. They just replace Donkey Kong with Funky Kong. I mean, I think it could work because it would just be like another like space on the board, just like because like DK spaces is usually only like 1, 2, or maybe 3 on each board. So
yeah,
you could just have some of the just some random, because like Spiny Desert and Chilly Waters are very big boards. So if you swap out a couple of the spaces with
like 1 blue space with it,
like it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I don't see any like strong arguments about that. I agree.
All right. That's perfect then. Was there anything else you want to add? Anything else? Any other of the? Because I don't know if you had anything else written down for the.
No. I think we've created a beautiful child today.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, you saw how long we spent on the mini game. So if we had to do freaking 100 mini, like, no shot. But like we chose the in my opinion the best of the. I mean, the boards especially. I'm really happy with that selection of boards. Like,
yeah,
like there's good diversity. Thematically, they're all different. Visually, they're all different. It's good, solid selection. So yeah, I got nothing else. So thank you, Zach, so much for joining me on this adventure.
Absolutely.
Is there anything you want to plug here before we end off?
I don't think so. I guess if you want to be more educated on Mario Party, then boy, do I have something for you. But that's how I'll leave it. I'm not gonna sit here and beg on my knees.
Well, you can beg all you want. Go and check out Zach's channel. He has some really cool stuff on there, and I'm assuming you're still working on. Well, I don't. You're still working on part 3 of your. Was it the saga? Was it the Superstar?
The saga? Superstar Saga. Yeah. It's gonna be on Goomba Lagoon. It'll be. I could not give you a date on when that's gonna be up. The final 2 weeks of college here are kicking me, but it'll be up at some point. That is for damn sure.
Yeah. Well, this episode ain't gonna be out for like another week and a half or so. So. Work on it. Kidding. So, thank you everyone so much for watching this episode, and hopefully episode 3 is just as exciting. I don't know what I'm doing yet for that one, so yay.
You got it.
I'll figure it out. I still got a few weeks. So, till next time.
I should actually, hold on, before anything, I should say, thank you, Zach, for having me. I didn't specify that. It was implied, but I should just specify. Thank you. Genuinely, again, it was an honor being on here since, again, I've been watching you for years, and now we got to become friends through Madness. So I'm glad that we got to do this together.
Shout out to Mario Party Madness. Team Mario didn't win the 99 Turner this year, but there's always next year.
Whatever. Yep.
So thank you everyone so much for watching this episode, and until next time, see you all in the next one.